Hello and good afternoon. My name is Amanda and welcome to The Den Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we're going to be figuring out what you can expect for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. And this is a timeless reading. We usually have about 3 Mercury retrogrades a year, so whenever it is that you're stumbling upon this video is the right time to be watching it. For the current Mercury retrograde in 2019 that I'm speaking of when I'm filming this, the retrograde is going to be running from October 31st, Halloween, to November 20th of 2019. But again, if you're watching this at a later time, it's still very relevant to the situation that you are in now. If you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths, and really focus your energies in on pile number 1, 2, or 3. Whichever pile or piles call out to you most, go ahead and select those and check the timestamps in the description box below. So I will go ahead and give you guys a moment to decide. Alright, group number 1, let's see what you are to be expecting for this Mercury retrograde. And again, this is a timeless reading, so whenever it is Mercury retrograde that you're watching this, it pertains to your situation now. And we'll start with the tarot card, and you guys have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. When it's in reverse like this, the 7 of Pentacles represents a lack in long-term vision. You have an idea maybe of what it is you want to accomplish, but you don't have a clear roadmap on how to get there. And so during a Mercury retrograde, things go haywire, like travel, electronics, communication, all those third house things tend to go haywire. Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo, so you can go ahead and check out your chart if you know what your birth chart is. You can look in your birth chart, so whatever houses Mercury and Virgo are in your birth chart, and whatever house Mercury is in your birth chart, whether that's Sagittarius or Aries or Gemini, whatever house it's in, is a good indication that place is going to be affected. And this card, it talks about, even if you've been putting in the work, it seems like you feel during this time that every amount of work you're doing, it's just not really getting you anywhere. You're not really seeing the fruits of that labor. But coming out of this Mercury retrograde, you're going to start seeing those fruits of your labor. Okay, so we'd have don't sweat the small stuff, and you add 5 and 4 together, that's 9. So it feels to me like you're at the end of a cycle of some sort here. And then enhance your physical health. So it feels like you've been maybe worried about a lot of little things, maybe not one big thing, but just a lot of little things, or a lot of little things are causing stress in your life. And if you pair it with this reverse 7 of Pentacles, it's almost like you can't really point to any one thing that is causing you problems. You just feel like your life overall is just not in balance, or just not the way you want it at this time. And one way you can help get that back in balance is to enhance your physical health. Check out a new exercise routine, or try to eat more whole foods that are plant-based, that are closer to nature, to really help fuel your body to be able to make long-term goals successful for you. And then we have the cards gentleness and recognition. I feel like with this enhance your physical health, don't sweat the small stuff, just all of this, it feels to me like you guys have been really hard on yourselves and not giving yourselves enough credit. This guy's sitting here, it's like he's watching his garden grow, and I think you guys have been putting that work in, but you're not seeing the results. But I think for a lot of you, those results are there. You're just not seeing that, and you're just being really hard on yourself if things maybe aren't going as fast as you'd like them to. And this is a card just saying during this Mercury retrograde time, you just really, it's only 21 days, it's 3 weeks long, it's not that long, but it's funny because 21 days is also how long they say it takes to form a new habit. So maybe at the beginning of this Mercury retrograde, or at any point while you're watching this during Mercury retrograde, go ahead and think of a habit or something in your life you want to improve. Don't go all out and make 15 different new habits at the same time, because that just really bogs you down and it won't be long lasting. Take one small thing and try to make a better habit out of it. With this enhance your physical health, it might be wise to take on a health related or body related habit And then here with the recognition card, you guys are going to be recognized for something you've done. And maybe that's going to lead you to realize, you know, I've been putting all this work in and people are seeing that I'm working hard, or people are noticing that I'm doing these things. And it's going to help you realize that, hey, maybe I'm not as bad off as I thought I was. And also with recognition, you may be, and I feel like this is online for a lot of you, maybe if you are a YouTube creator or you have some sort of social media, you're going to have a post or something that's going to be seen by a lot more people than is your normal. Maybe you normally get 20 likes on a photo, and maybe this time instead you'll get 120 likes or 220 likes, and it's just going to be just this little thing that's going to bump your self-esteem and your confidence and make you feel good about yourself. And then your last card here, we have self-love. And if you add 6 and 1 together, that's 7. 7 is a very spiritual number, and I think for a lot of you guys, this self-love doesn't just include your physical health and your mental health. I feel like for a lot of you, this includes your spiritual health. Maybe you've been letting your spiritual practices slide, or if you don't really have a spiritual practice, you just kind of feel a disconnect with other people or your own self, or just life in general. You just feel like you're going through the motions and you're not really connecting with anything, and at times you almost feel like life is almost meaningless, and you may feel that way during this time. But the more you can help that physical health, be gentle with yourself, and give yourself that self-love you desperately need, you're going to start seeing the results. The fruits of your labor are going to start coming to you rather than evading you. Just keep these things in mind during your Mercury retrograde, and you're going to come out on top. You're going to be fine. Everything looks pretty good. So thank you guys so much for checking this out. And as always, thanks again for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And you'll have to let me know below if this resonated and what you thought. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Done Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 2, let's see what you can expect during this Mercury retrograde. And again, this is a timeless reading, so whatever Mercury retrograde you're watching this is the right time to be watching it. Okay, so your first card here, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of times when we see this 10 of Pentacles in reverse like this, you'll have this time of financial loss, or you'll just be feeling like a financial failure. You'll feel like no matter how much effort you're putting in, how many bills you're trying to get paid off, things just, you know, you're just getting more bills, or you're just not really getting ahead. And if that doesn't resonate, it could be with, instead of financial, it just could be with material things in general. Like maybe you try to keep your house clean, but it's like every time you turn around, it's just a mess again, and I can totally relate to that. But something in the material world that you can touch or is tangible. But I think for a lot of you, this is wealth, and you're just feeling almost dejected about things. Like you can work hard and do all these things, but you're just never really getting ahead to the place you want to be financially. And you're going to be feeling that a lot during this Mercury retrograde, but it's just kind of pointing out to you that wealth can also be a trap, because a lot of times we wrap our self-worth up in how much we're earning, how much we own, and that's not how we should really be measuring our self-worth. Our self-worth is wrapped up in our soul, and who we are as a person shouldn't be reflected in our material wealth. But in this material world we live in, that's just how we equate value and success a lot of times. And this would be a good time to do other things that help you enhance your self-worth or that sense of self. Do things that make you feel good, like you are valued, you are worthy. And this card oftentimes can represent setbacks in jobs or stability, family, your significant other relationship. You may be on the rocks with somebody. Any kind of relationships just might be going haywire because maybe your communication isn't there, or you're too harsh with your communication, or you're just trying to communicate too much and it's just too overwhelming for the people you're trying to communicate with. Something like that. And then for your next couple cards, we have Blow Off Steam and Relinquish Control. Try to avoid that glare. All right. So I think this blow off steam, it just goes back to feeling like no matter how much you do, it's just never enough, never enough, never enough. And this is just letting you know that you need to get out there and do something just for yourself. Do something fun, do something frivolous. And I'm not saying frivolous with money. I'm just saying, normally I feel like you guys are, if you're not doing something, you feel like you're wasting time. But we don't ever take into account that sometimes just wasting time is exactly what we need. So go do something fun. Go to a movie, go out with a friend, go out to coffee, take a walk in nature. Just do something that you feel your normal self would feel is maybe a waste of time, because it's actually what's going to fuel you and energize you to get more done in a smaller amount of time if you allow yourself that time to blow off some steam. And then here you have the relinquish control card. I think with a lot of you guys, you feel like, again, with this blow off steam, if you're not in complete control of every little thing in your life, you feel like something's wrong or something's out of balance. And life isn't to be controlled. We aren't the ones controlling the tides or the river. We're the ones flowing with the tides, flowing with the river. We don't want to try to control everything, because that's when you can set yourself up for disappointment. If you're kind of more going with the flow, you're going to be disappointed less. If you can let go of control on little things or things you just know you can't control, if you just relinquish that control, you will feel a lot better about life and about the way things are going, because none of us has complete control over everything in our lives. And next we have divine order and listen only to love. So with this divine order card, I think this goes back to that feeling like you need to get back into a spiritual practice, because here it says, everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past illusion and see the underlying order. And relinquishing control. Everything in your life is exactly where it's supposed to be. You're never not on the correct path. A lot of times when things aren't jiving with our soul, we feel like we're out of balance. You know, the scales here are out of balance, and when we feel like that, we think that we're on the wrong path, or we're in the wrong relationship, or we're doing the wrong thing. But really, everything is exactly as it should be. The fact that you feel like something's wrong, or you need to do something different, or be somewhere else, is just your soul kind of nudging you in the direction that you are meant to go. But the fact that you feel off your path or out of alignment now isn't wrong. You're never in the wrong place. It tells you that you're meant for more. You want to do more, and you want to do better with your life. And then listen only to love. And it says, don't allow fear to distract you from your divine mission. So I think a lot of you guys are going to be finding a sense of purpose with this divine order and listen only to love. You're going to be finding a sense of purpose during this Mercury retrograde. And a lot of times it's going to feel overwhelming. Like, you're not enough. You aren't worth your dreams. You aren't worth your visions, but you are. You need to be telling yourself only positive things in your head. You don't want that ego to run away with your thoughts and just become this negative spiral that you're on. You want to try to keep things positive and realize that you're never in the wrong place. And then here we have the nature card. And I feel like a lot of you, if you're watching this when I'm posting it, it is fall in the northern hemisphere right now. And the weather is changing, and it's really beautiful outside, but it can be really cold this time of year. But with this nature card, I think this is just asking you to get outside more, connect with nature, and that will really help you to relinquish that control and blow off steam and feel like everything is right in the world. And it will fuel you to be able to get your Ten of Pentacles here turned around to where you're feeling abundant and you're feeling like everything is coming up roses for you. So yeah, I think that's all I'm getting for you guys. You'll have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, thanks again, you guys, for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's see what you are to expect during this Mercury retrograde. And again, this is a timeless reading, so whenever it is that you're watching this, is for the Mercury retrograde you're currently in or about to go into. And the first card we have here is the Ten of Wands, and this is the card of burdens or hard work or just feeling like there's too much going on and you can't carry it. Like the world is on your shoulders and you just feel like you're crumbling under the pressure. And this can also be a card of completion. So maybe you're coming into a cycle in your life that is ending. It could be a relationship, but I don't think that's the case for most of you. I think it's a cycle within a relationship, and I feel like it's a negative dynamic that's ending and is going to be evolving into something more beneficial and beautiful in your life. So this is just going to be a time of you kind of realizing that, hey, I just am trying to do way too much in this limited 24-hour day that I have, and you're going to be coming to a realization that I can't do it all. I can do anything, but I can't do everything. And this is actually a really good card to get during a Mercury retrograde because it's giving you that insight. When a planet goes retrograde, it's telling us to go within, to look within for the true answers. And Mercury is that planet all about communication, travel, electronics, writing, doing things with your hands. So anything having to do with those things in your life, or the 3rd house, 6th house, and wherever your Mercury is placed in your birth chart, are all areas that may be affected during this time. So if you want more information on that, you can look up your birth chart, whether it's a Western astrology birth chart or a Vedic birth chart. Whichever astrology resonates with you is the one you should follow. And for your first 2 oracle cards, we have the Stop card, and then we have Choose to Heal. So 3 plus 4 on the Stop card is 7, and 7 is that very spiritual number. To me, this is just saying stop what you're doing with all this overburden feeling. Stop trying to take on more. Stop trying to overfill your plate and bite off more than you can chew. And just really allow yourself time to take stock in your life and what it is that your priorities are, and what things in your life that you've been working for that just maybe aren't working for you, or they're really not worth your effort at this time. And you can come to a nice understanding if you write these things down in a journal, or just allow yourself time to think, because a lot of times we feel like if we're just sitting there doing nothing, we're wasting time. And that's actually not the case. You do need downtime to just think and let yourself decompress and allow your thoughts to not run away with you, so to speak, but allow yourself time to let your mind wander and let you process some of the things that you're trying to fix or things you want to do. Just allow yourself that time to think, and then choose to heal. So I think for a lot of you, I just got relationships. So I think this is relationships for a lot of you, whether it's a significant other, a son, a daughter, a nephew, a coworker, a boss, a parent. But I think for a lot of you, it is a significant other. And there's been a dynamic. I don't think it's the relationship itself, but I feel like it's a dynamic within that relationship, or a cycle in that relationship that has just been weighing you down and wearing on you. And during this time, you're going to finally see the light about this thing, and there's going to be just this ever so subtle shift that's going to set things on a much better path for you guys in your relationship. And if you're single, you can apply this to any close relationship in your life. But those of you that are coupled up, I feel like there's this relationship dynamic, whether it's tiny or huge, that you're going to kind of see the light about, and it's going to change things for the better for you during this Mercury retrograde. Oh, so funny. And then you have life review and helping children. So this life review is just going back to what I said about the journaling and allowing yourself time to really take stock in what your life is. And then here on the life review card, it says, take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. Choose to heal, stop, and take account of what it is you want in life, what's not working in life. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, you guys. During this Mercury retrograde, you're really going to be doing some soul searching and reviewing the things in your life that you know work and the things that you know aren't working for you, and finding better ways to make them work for you. And then with this helping children card, it says part of your life purpose involves teaching, guiding, and helping young people. So if you're a parent, this mostly points to your own children. You're helping your children through something, or teaching them something, or just spending a lot of fun time with them, playing games or just playing toys or something like that. But if you're not a parent, this could be any child relationship you have in your life, a niece or a nephew or a friend's kids. And then I just got inner child as well. So whether you're a parent or not, this could be helping your inner child heal something from your past that is stopping you from moving forward in life. And during this Mercury retrograde, you're going to be getting in touch with that and healing some past traumas. And that's actually a really beautiful thing. That's using this Mercury retrograde to your advantage and really getting something out of it. And then for your last card here, you have spiritual partnership. And if you add the 2 and 7, that equals a 9. That goes really well hand in hand with that end of a cycle in a relationship. That 9 is that end of a cycle or completion of something. So it feels to me like with this healing and stuff you're doing in this relationship, especially in a significant other relationship, but again, if you're single or you're in a relationship that's already really perfect, which I don't think any relationship is perfect, but if you feel like everything's just beautiful in that relationship, this could be another close friend or family member or something like that. But again, I feel like for a lot of you, this is a significant other, and you're going to be taking, once you figure out what that problem was or that negative cycle was, you're going to start taking your relationships to the next level, and it's just going to be a very beautiful time for you, discovering your inner truth and realizing what things in your life aren't working and ways to improve those areas that aren't working to make them start working for you. So this is actually going to be a very productive Mercury retrograde for you. I don't see any kind of electronic issues or cars breaking down or anything like that. I feel like it's mostly to do with your communication with yourself, first and foremost, and with close relationships in your life and, you know, your children or children in your life, and healing things in your past that are stopping you from moving forward in life. So yeah, I think that's all I'm getting for you guys. You'll have to let me know below what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye.